are you today? Welcome to day 104 of Lyndall's Luscious Limberings. Apologies, I think I'm quite silhouetted today, but that's okay. You know, just listen to the soft, soothing, encouraging sounds of my voice and that will help you through. Today is our chill out day. So let's just get nice and relaxed, keep warm as usual. Of course, I know that if it's in London at the moment, you might be on 39 degrees. What the hell is that? I mean, that's seriously messed up. I mean, I know you don't need me to tell you that, but, you know, to be fair to Londoners, like, you know, degrees in London always feel a good 5 degrees hotter than what they do here, I think. So 39 degrees is just insane. So I hope you're okay, because that's hot for us. I mean, yeah, just be sensible. Close the curtains during the day. Don't open the windows. That makes it hotter. Open the windows at night. Close the curtains. Drink lots of water. Stay in the shade. All that kind of stuff. Barbarians, turn on the heater. Get yourself some Ugg boots. Drink hot fluids. Everyone, take care of yourself. All right, let's just do this, shall we? I'm just chatting now. Okay, today's playlist. Day 104. 3, 2, 1, go. By the way, you may or may not see the cute picture that is my cat sprawled on his basket. Enough about me. Let's do you. Do this. Feet hip width apart. Sink. Rise. Just place your hands over the belly. And really just take the time to center. So at the base of the perineum, the base of the body, that's starting to gently relax down, being pulled by gravity at the center of the earth. Top of the head just wants to rise up. And it's a really odd feeling, this trying to go both ways. But the way I find it is to remind myself it's not me that's doing it. So there's a force that's gently pulling down on the base of the pelvis at the same time as the head just wants to float away. So I'm not trying to actively achieve both of these things. I'm allowing them to happen. And at the same time, imagine there's a point here, and point right in the center, just behind your belly button. And they're actually spheres, which are expanding in each direction. So you're not two-dimensional. Every part of you is widening in every direction. And so any of the tension that you have, you can just feel like it's releasing down, draining down through the body into the floor. And that you're merging with the air in the room around you. So it's like if you were pixelated, the pixels of your body just merging with those around you. So almost like the air can just blow straight through and out the other side. And there's a softening across the chest, like a dissolving. Your diaphragm can feel like it can sink down right to the base of the pelvis. And just allow the breath to imagine that you're breathing in through the feet, up into the legs, and back down again. And we're just going to breathe in, turn the hands and breathe out. And again, turn the hands, draw the breath up the legs into the belly, and down. Keep going with that breathing in, and out in your own time. Breathing in, breathing out, push forward and down. Good, now we're going to breathe in to the chest, turn and out. each time you breathe in, it feels like that drawing up just allows that pelvis to hang even heavier off the spine. Check in to find out what's resisting that. So it might be tension over the front of the hips, over the flexors, might be down the thighs, might even be over the front of the chest, or maybe underneath the armpits, the back of the neck. The back of the neck's a doozy because it's kind of silent. So imagine that you're starting to relax the muscles all over the top of the head, down the backs and the sides of the head, and where that neck inserts into the base of the head, opening up through the neck, opening up where the neck joins into the back and down either sides of the spine, radiating underneath the shoulder blades around the ribs, opening up through the belly. Good, now we're going to go all the way down, so breathing in, all the way down to the ground, and gather, drawing up through the body, and out. Beautiful. And then when you get down here, just stay here for a bit and just hang over and just gently work through the shoulders. Knees bent at the moment, but the head's super heavy. Good. And then just lightly bend down, and then just straighten until you find a gentle stretch, not even like a big stretch, just until you first feel that stretch, and release it down. And think about broadening across the small of the back while you're here, softening through the jaws. And don't push trying to go further each time. Just allow the body, it will naturally do it. Good. Let's just go into a crouch. Just raise the head for a second. Just let the blood drain out of the brain. And then in this crouch, just put the head down to your chest. Back up to neutral again. Keep breathing. And just allow the base of the spine to really relax down. Just like you're, especially as the chin goes to the chest, you're creating a C curve. Good. Straighten up the legs again. And again, just bending and straightening until you find a stretch. Hands can be wherever they're comfortable. The legs don't need to find straight. You just want to straighten until they find a stretch. Good. Bend the knees now, rolling up through the spine, stacking one vertebra on top of the other. And just gently roll the shoulders. Keep the knees nice and soft. Beautiful. Just taking the hand gently across and stretching out through the triceps. Breathe deep into the belly. Go back to that feeling of breathing through the soles of the feet, and of the feet. Letting the pelvis still hang heavy off the spine, tucking the chin, lifting the head. Butt wants to sink down to the center of the earth. The head wants to float up towards the heavens. Good. Soften that out. And the other arm. Same with this, don't go for extremes with movement. Just go until you start to find a stretch, then breathe into it. Let your body naturally do the work for you. Listening to your body the whole time. And as you find the static position, then go back inside the body and start to just talk to those areas that are tight. triceps. Stretch, keeping the head straight up, don't bend forward. So if you just feel the stretch here, that's absolutely fine. And just settle there for a second again, letting that butt hang heavy off the spine. Really think about softening through the flexors here, since we've got a bit of a stretch through the belly. It's a good opportunity for us to feel where we're tight along this area here. And the sides of the butts, Wow, everything's plural today. You have many butts. Keep the breath going through the body. Now, just gentle circle. Really nice work. Now go the other way. And just lean over, away from the arm that's stretching. And you might feel it going all the way down to the hip. Just go within your limits. Good, and on the out with breath, come back up. Yeah, and again, just rolling through that arm. Hopefully it's freeing up a little bit. Good, and the other arm now. Let the butt hang heavy. Think about also relaxing the muscles on the insides of the legs as they come up into the pelvis. So you can almost feel like you're broadening across the pelvis to give you a bit of a wider thigh gap. Softening across the tops of the knees. Releasing those flexors. Good, and then a small circle. And change direction, nice and easy. And now just leaning away from the side where you're stretching. Breathe into that. Relax, consciously relax through the opposite leg, the opposite hip. And then use the outward breath to come back up. And just roll it out. And get a bit more blood flowing through that area now. Beautiful. Just quickly find yourself a door frame or a window. We'll just stretch out through the pecs. Soften the knees, soften the jaw, unclench your butt cheeks. And changing around. Oh yeah. Good, and again, roll it out. Just lightly flossing through the spine. Take the hips with you in this one, arms super floppy. Still releasing through the belly. And feel like the muscles from your earlobe to the tops of your shoulders are getting longer and letting go. Good, now keep the hips and the head facing forward, just turn the shoulders. Softening across the front of the chest and the diaphragm. All the way down to the base of the spine. Make sure you're spinning on the central axis so you're not changing weight from side to side. Good, now just change it to a hip on the chest and on the kidneys. So try and only put that little muscle engagement through at the end. Let the movement come from the hips and the shoulders. And then just at the end, you just bend those elbows and direct where the hit's going to go. Don't whack yourself in the face, that would be embarrassing. Beautiful. All right, let's go a little wider. And we're just going to slightly bend, turn these toes outwards here. And small bounces. Stretching from fingertip to fingertip, and then just stay there and leaning over. Stretching from the outside blade of the foot to the tip of the fingers, all along, so you're getting this side flank area. Opening up through the ribs. Keep that dynamic stretch. Don't just get there and stay there. Think about really reaching from fingertip to the outside blade of the foot. Now, if you feel stable there to take hold with your own muscles, get this up. And then just give yourself some percussion along the chest. Good, and then come up. Just roll through the shoulders on that side. Good, and then the other side, picking up the toes on this side. And really gently, now make sure you're not sticking your butt out here. You want to send like you're sending the pelvis, particularly with this hip, forwards. Lifting up through the head, shoulder blades are sliding down the back. Reaching across the body from fingertip to fingertip to open up through the chest. Relax that belly. Take away the tension in the back of the neck. Good, now just reaching over, dynamic, even though we're static, so reaching from the outside blade of this foot, that foot, all the way to the top of the fingertips. So you're lengthening through the body, opening up. If you're feeling a sensation that there's too much pressure on the inside of the knee and the straight leg, think about lifting the outside of the muscles and the thigh towards the ceiling as we do this. And engaging not from the inside of the foot on the straight leg, but the outside blade of the foot. And if you feel stable to take your own weight there, some percussion going. Good, on the outward breath, come back. And roll through again. Good, hopefully opening up a little bit. Good, and just curving. And hug. So send the spine away from you, send the fingertips forward. Imagine you're trying to contain something that wants to expand. Making a C curve. Good, and then open out. Try and send the breastbone forwards. Good, and then C curve again. Rolling down. Just give yourself a hug and breathe into the ribs so that your hands expand away from each other. My knees are bent. I'm just hanging over gently. If you want, you can rest your belly on your thighs and just breathe so that you expand through the chest. Don't hyperventilate. Beautiful, just sitting down now. And let's lie on down. Oh, yes, bringing the knees in. And super gentle circles. Soften through the jaw. And go the other way. Again, find that nice massage with the small of the back of the ground if you can. It's very nice indeed. Good. Flex the toes, push up towards the ceiling. Double nerve stretch, so heels are going towards the ceiling. Small of the back's releasing into the floor. Toes are pulling towards the shins. Good, just soften that down. And if you want to do a double wiggle, like a happy Labrador. Good. Flex the toes again. Now don't pull super tight on the toes this time. We're just going to go back into our alternate V's. So I want the foot flexed, but I'm not going to, crank it through the calf. But I'm making a V, Like a first position with the heels and then with the toes. Now really link that movement to the sensation that it's actually coming from the hip joint. So you're rolling through the hips. You're not trying to move the ankles or move the knees. In fact, this is all one unit. The whole leg is one unit. So I'm not going through the ankle. I am twisting from the joint of the hips. Good. Now bend those knees again and circle around. And circle the other way. Good. Just straighten the right leg. Take hold of the left leg with the right hand. Left arm goes out to the side. And just let yourself fall over to the side, to the right hand side. Don't pull that left leg down. Just allow gravity to do the work. You can look down the opposite direction. And really breathe into that leg. Start to think about relaxing through the flexors. So have a bit of an exploration rather than trying to think about cranking the knee to the floor. Think, if I breathe into and release a certain area, does that help? Even if it's not related, like, play with the sternum, the jaws, the back of the neck. Good. Breathe in with the outward breath. Use your hand to help you come back up. And just give that knee a bit of a hug. Lengthening out the other leg on the floor. And pull the toes back up for a nerve stretch. So pulling the toes towards the shins and the heels towards the ceiling. Good. Relax that and just circle through the foot. If you can, have the sense that this rotation feels like it's coming from the small of the back rather than from the actual ankle. Of course it is from the ankle, but just connect your awareness to the small of your back. And come the other way. And then to finish off, just linking the hands where it feels comfortable. Toes relaxed and pointed, and just, again, opening up the small of the back. Rather than worrying about trying to stretch through the back of the leg, focus on relaxing the small of the back. And now, really gently, just start to flex the foot a tiny bit. And then back again. Be very gentle with this. Super gentle. And I'm only going to just start to feel a stretch. Feels a bit weird to feel your calf working underneath. Good. Bend the knee. And give it a bit of a wiggle. Single-sided happy Labrador. Good. And changing over. So bringing the right leg up now. Stretching out the left. Take hold of the right leg with the left arm. Right arm goes out to the side. Just let yourself fall over to the left and looking down the right arm again. Just breathe through this. Hello, Rupert. How are you? Rupert's also doing a stretch. Good. Breathe in on the outward breath. Come back up. And just hug that knee in. And pull the toes back, stretching up into that beautiful nerve stretch. The best thing in the world ever. That may be a small exaggeration. Keep breathing. Good. Relax that and circle through, feeling like the movement's coming from the small of the back, nice and released through the rest of the leg. Make sure the other leg's relaxed on the floor down. You can feel like this is lengthening through the flexors. Just change direction of the circle. Try and keep it nice and smooth. Relaxing across the sternum, soften the jaw, soften the back of the neck. Good. hold where we can. Breathing through that. Toe starts off as a little relaxed point. Soften the other leg into the ground. Now super gently again, just go for a start of a stretch, just start to flex and then point. Good, bend that leg and give it a single happy Labrador. Back to the other leg, and now open and closing through the hips. Good stuff, reaching through the legs. Or you can take it either in the shin or through the thighs, and just breathe into that, relax. And happy Labradors. Really opening up through the small of the back on the floor. Softening through the sternum, particularly over the solar plexus area. Good, straighten that right leg. Bring the left leg into your center sternum and pull up so that you're stretching a slightly different part over the butt. Good, and just bring that back in, other leg. You now get to watch my cat delicately groom himself in his fluffy basket up against the window. Thanks, Rupert. Give the people what they want. And reaching through, relaxing down. Nice deep breaths, really cleansing breaths. I know it sounds really wanky, but if you consciously think about breathing, and each time you breathe, and each time you breathe, you're releasing tension. Breathing generally lets your body know everything's okay. Good, happy Labrador. Good, straighten the left leg and bring the right leg across to the center sternum. Pull up on the ankle just to get a slightly different stretch. Good, back in with both legs and just circle again. Circle the other way. And rolling onto all fours. You can do it. Good. And arching up. And down. And again, really feel like the muscles aren't doing the work here. Just feel like you're sending your spine towards the ceiling and then your spine towards the ground. And the muscles are just doing their own thing. Rather than trying to strain the muscles to feel like you're getting a stretch, we want them to be released. Couple more. Good, level off. And we're just going to do some circles, turn to the left. Nice and slow. And again, feel like your spine's being a skipping rope, or the muscles are released. Good work, changing direction, round to the right. leveling off. Put your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, tuck the toes under, lift the butt towards the ceiling. Super gentle walk through here, nothing too extreme. Keep that butt lifting nice and high. Relax through the neck. Drawing the shoulder blades in together. See, I'm not even taking each foot off the floor. I'm just thinking more about pistoning one hip down than the other. So focus on the hips rather than the feet. Don't try and force the foot to the ground. You just want to piston until you find a stretch. Now, if you feel like you put a slight twist, the knee goes slightly diagonally across the body as you do it. And now settle the heels towards the floor, but think more about lifting the butt towards the ceiling, putting the thighs on the wall behind you. Good, put the knees down and just circle through the shoulders. And a bit of a deeper stretch now. We're just going to do the pigeon. So just putting one leg like this, sit up, and either staying up, leaning forwards if you want, or going to the floor. And remember now, feel like you're sending if your left leg's forward, feel like you're sending your left shoulder to the heel of the left foot. If your right leg is forward, feel like you're sending your right shoulder to the heel of the right foot. Good, use the hands to come up and change over. So whichever leg you have forward, send that shoulder towards the heel of that foot. Good, coming into that. And just into a little butterfly, so bringing the heels towards the pelvic bone. Pubic, pelvic, same thing. And flutter, not technically the same thing, but for our purposes, same thing. Flutter, 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 flutter. Lifting up through the head, nice and relaxed. Send your awareness to the small of the back and think about broadening across there. And softening down through this chain through the front of the body. And then just bending forwards, sending the chest upwards and forwards, leaning forward until you find a stretch. You might find it in the inguinal area first, or the inner thighs. You might find it across the small of the back. You might find it in all of the above. If you want to increase the stretch, you can. Put your hands, that's my neighbour, put your hands on your knees. Good, and then flutter again, flutter, flutter, flutter. Good, just bring them in and give them a bit of a rub. Like you're trying to roll the meat around the bone. And then the other leg, roll the meat around the bone, all the way down. Good, and then just either with your legs crossed or in a child's pose, just creep the fingertips forwards. And just stick the fingertips into the floor, gently pull back against it. Relaxing through the neck. Opening up across the small of the back. Softening through the front of the abdomen.
Relax the shoulder blades so it feels like they're sliding down the sides of the body towards the ground. Good. Use the hands and the outward breath to come up.
If you're cross-legged, change your legs over. Otherwise, if you're in normal child's pose, then just go back down again. And back up again. Good. Just come to a crouch. Straighten until you find a stretch for a sec. Just hang over in that. Wherever the stretch is for you, so your legs don't have to be straight. They're just at the level where you find a stretch. Let the head hang over heavy. Step out wide. Just do the same thing. The knees a little bit, gently swinging from side to side. Beautiful, then just bring the feet back in. Gently rolling up to the spine either by breathing in or breathing out, stacking one vertebra on top of the other. Oh yeah, and we're done. Thanks team. Just roll it all out, shake it all out. Great. Core day tomorrow, my favourite day, your favourite day, I know it is. And feel free to keep stretching after we finish. Sometimes when you just get in a roll, you're like, oh yeah, now I found the other thing I want to work out. I do, anyway. In the meantime, hope you're keeping well and safe and taking care of yourself. I will see you tomorrow. Please be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Lots of love.